Greetings, DMs, GMs, and players. This is the Insomniac GM, the only GM so tired enough he's recorded this video 3 times, realizing he only took a picture every time. So, for hopefully the last time trying to record this video, I'm talking about the troop mechanic. This is a mechanic I think is a good substitute for the minion rule in 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I think the minion rule is a great rule set, but I don't think it's a great rule set having a large swarm of enemies. It just becomes too much to track at that point, in my opinion. And the troop rule kind of flushes that out a lot more. So the troop rule is a rule set created by Paizo, and you can find it in Pathfinder 1E's Bestiary 6 on page 265. You can find it in Pathfinder 2E's Bestiary 3 on page 310, and which this is the one I'm the most familiar with and have used in my campaigns. And I recently found out Starfinder actually has one, and it is Starfinder number 21, Huskworld. I don't have that, but let me demonstrate how this rule system works. So, so let's say this is your player character. And let's say each one of these is a mini. Now, the troop rules is one monster, but you use 16 minis to represent that monster. It's a 4x4. You could also modify the number of troops in this, but essentially how the troops work is it's one monster. It has one health bar, or one hit point, like, it has one health bar, and it has one armor class, it has one set of saving throws, and when you fight it, if any player is near it, on its turn, it makes the player roll a reflex saving throw. If you're playing this on 5th edition, just change it to dexterity saving throw. And if they fail, they take the damage from the attacks. Now, in Pathfinder 2nd edition, you can end up using an action to change the formation of these monsters. Or you can even box in players from the rest of the party, causing the other party members to come save them. Now, when it also comes to the troop rules, let's say this troop has 100 hit points. Now, every troop has a health threshold, which is 1/4 its health. So if this was 100, its threshold would be 25. So let's say this character does, we'll say 100 points of damage using a sword. I don't know how possible, but in this case, we'll say it's possible. So they use their sword to attack this, because it's not an area of effect. You remove the 25 hit points, which only removes one section of this. If the player is using Fireball, for instance, an area of effect, and let's say that's 50 health, these things are vulnerable to Fireball. So it would actually do 100 points of damage, and right there you just killed it. I think it's a great rule. It makes it make combat move a lot faster, because to me, I'm no longer looking at this as a big swarm of enemies You know, if this was minions, I'd be like, okay, you know, this one moves here. Did I move this one already? But with the troops, I can just reform it, and it's one monster. Another thing I like to do with this is large-scale combat. I'll just take, say, one mini, and I'll be like, okay, this one here, it's 50 guys. And I'll put 2 troops up against each other, and every turn they're just making saves against each other. And it's like, okay, well, this side just lost 100 troops, and the other side, like, you know, they lost 150. And now you're making mass combat go by much faster and smoother. And you could even throw the 16 troops at your players during mass combat like that, and it's like now they're fighting their own army themselves. One thing I should mention too with troops, for anyone not aware, I mean, that's why this video is here, is they don't have to be just a medium-sized monster. If you want to be evil to your players, it could be like 16 gargantuan dragons and just really tell your players that you hate them. But yeah, I love this rule set. I've used it in my Pathfinder 2e games, and it's been pretty effective for me. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about this rule set, and are you planning on using it? What do you think about using it in mass combat? Until next time, take care.